Hi everyone, welcome to my cooking and baking channel. I started this channel so that I can learn how to become a better cook and experiment with my cooking and baking. I'm not the most experienced baker or cook, but hopefully by the end of this, I am the next Gordon Ramsay. So let's get started. Today we are making chicken thighs with different seasonings, and this recipe is inspired by a chicken wing recipe from Jordan Woods that I found on YouTube. So basically it's the same seasonings, it's just chicken thighs. So first thing, what you're gonna do is preheat your oven to 425, which I've already done, and then you have to pat down your chicken. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have my chicken. This is all natural, organic chicken from Trader Joe's, which is just my local grocery store. And this is fresh, boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So what we're gonna do is cut this open. Sorry. Okay. I have this cut open and now I'm just gonna lay it on some parchment paper on my counter. Okay, so my hands are clean and my chicken is on the parchment paper and I'm just tearing it apart because it's sort of all mushed together. All right, so we have 6 thighs and I'm just gonna now pat it down with paper towel. This is just removing all the excess water, oils, because we want it to be really crispy. So just get it nice and not dry, but you know, you want to take all the excess moisture away. Okay, so now I'm just taking this glass container, a glass pan, and my hands are clean, by the way. I am taking the chicken and just putting it, in there. Okay, so now we have our chicken in the bowl. We're gonna get on to the seasoning, and for seasoning, I am going to be using lemon pepper, red chili pepper, paprika, Cajun seasoning, Lawry's seasoning salt, cracked pepper, just any pepper's fine, and some salt. And then also to make it crispy, we are putting on some baking powder. So for this part, the seasoning, it's sort of just, I'm doing it to taste, like based on sort of, like there's no exact measurements, it's just sort of what you like, how much of each thing you like. So I'm first going to, put on some of the Cajun seasoning because that's one of my favorites. So I'm just coating it really nice. So putting it on there, and then we're gonna mix it all up. And this is some seasoning salt. This is really good as well. Okay, and then lemon pepper. Putting, because what we really want is for this to be nice and seasoned. This one's coming out a little tough. It's tough to get it out, is what I meant to say. And now some chili flakes, because I really like spice. Not everyone does, so you know, do it to your liking. And then paprika. Okay, and sorry, I forgot to add in our pepper. This is coming up on the last of it in this tube, so it's, oh, the oven's ready. This is coming out sort of hard because there's not very much left in here, but you don't need very much pepper. I think I got a good enough amount. And now I'm just grabbing some salt. We already have a good amount of seasoning on this, but you can't go wrong with a little bit of salt. And now we are grabbing the baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, because baking powder makes it crispy. I don't know what baking soda would do, but I'm not going to use that. Okay, so I'm just taking a tablespoon of baking powder, and I am just thoroughly coating the chicken thighs with that to make it nice and crispy. All right. And now what you're gonna do with clean hands, because we are in a pandemic and you wanna be careful about that. But yeah, my hands are clean and we are just going to mix it all together. Do your best to just coat everything and get it all even as best as you can. And if you want, you could be smart and not get your hands dirty and use tongs for this, but I did not think of that till just now. I'm just doing my best to get everything, it's a little messy, but doing my best to get everything coated. And you can always go back in with more once it's on your baking sheet. But you know, you still want to use what you put in here. You don't want anything to go to waste. You want to do the best that you can to use everything up. Okay, so I'm going back in with just a little bit of more of the baking powder because I really want this chicken to be crispy, and this time I am using tongs. Sorry for the noise. Okay. So I'm just taking these tongs and using them to thoroughly coat our chicken. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera so want better lighting. Okay, that's good. It's looking good so far. Like I said, I've actually never made chicken myself, so it's looking like the real deal so far. We'll have to see how good it tastes though. Okay, so here's the finished product of me mixing that up. Does not look the prettiest, but that's not what matters. It's how it tastes. But yeah, so I did my best to spread out the baking powder. Sorry. Yeah, I can see that this piece right here still needs a little bit of spreading the powder. I need to spread the powder out a little more, but yeah, overall this is looking pretty good so far. I mean, yeah, we'll see how it tastes. Okay, so we have our cookie sheet, and I'm going to line this with some parchment paper. Okay, so we have our cooking sheet lined, and I'm just taking a little olive oil and putting that there, and then I'm just gonna spread it around. Okay, so we have a nice even thin layer of the olive oil, and now I'm just taking the chicken and putting it on the sheet. Like so. We are putting them at a distance from each other, socially distant. Not actually, but I'm not putting them all next to each other. You know, I'm spreading them apart. Okay, so now I'm just going back in with a little bit of the lemon pepper, just a thin layer. And the seasoning salt. And the Cajun seasoning. Okay, so now I'm putting this in the oven for 20 minutes at 425 degrees. So I feel like I had a hard time like rubbing in the seasoning and like spreading it all out, like especially the baking powder, because our baking powder is like kind of old and like it was sort of like hardened, so it was like hard to spread around. Yeah, so next time I'll probably get fresher baking powder. But yeah, I feel like overall this recipe was pretty easy. But yeah. Okay, so after 20 minutes, this is what the chicken looks like. And I've decided that I'm gonna flip it over to cook the bottom a little more. So I'm gonna put it in, flip it and put it in for 10 more minutes, but it's looking really good. Okay, so here is the finished product out of the oven. Okay, so now I'm gonna try a piece. It's cooked all the way through and it's really, looks really crispy. That's really good. Since I've never made chicken before, I think that I did a pretty good job. Yeah, I just hope I get better with practice, but it's pretty good. It tastes just like what the chicken tastes like that my mom makes, or like when I have it at a restaurant. So I think I did a good job. Okay, so I'm back. I thought the video was over, but it's not. Because I have some critiques for myself. So while I was eating the chicken, like eating the whole piece, I realized that like I said earlier, did not spread the seasoning around well enough, because I feel like sometimes it was like really seasoned in one part and not enough in the other. And also just feel like overall I might have like put too much seasoning, like it was really salty and wasn't the best, like, you know, like it just had a lot of salt, and like I thought it was good, but it was really spicy, which I like, but it was also just really salty. So yeah, that's my critique. Thank you for tuning in. I will be doing this again, and making another dish. Thank you so much for watching, and